everyone, and welcome back to my catching up on daily life video, my first one. I've mentioned that I'm so far behind on my daily life albums. I'm not even finished with 2018. My usual rule for myself is that I have to be finished. So like this is 2020. If I don't finish by the end of 2020 or January, February-ish of 2021 with my 2020 album, then I won't do it again. And because I've had my YouTube channel, things are different. You know, I have the hops, I have certain things to do, and I've just put it off because I also wasn't sure if you guys would enjoy watching these videos. But when I mentioned it in my goals video that I needed to finish, a lot of you said, hey, go ahead and record it, that you wouldn't mind seeing it. So I am doing a massive catch up. Now, what I'm working on right now is just 2018 and 2019 because it's not too far into 2020 for me to be too worried about that, and I will get there as we go along. But for now, this is 2018 and 2019. What I have done for 2019, now in 2019 I took a class by Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine. The class was so-so. It was a great class if you have never done pocket pages before, if you want to learn. It's a great class for that. For me, I didn't learn a lot because it's stuff I already knew. I don't want to sound like, hey, I already knew all this stuff, but that's the truth. It's just stuff that I've already done, already knew, different things. But I did learn a few things, and one of them was how to streamline the process a little bit. So for my 2019 album, this is all I pretty much put in there is these are the photos, and they are added with an app called Collect, and it lets you add the photo. It adds the date. You can change the date if you want a different date underneath the photo, and it also you get a little couple sentences of journaling. This made the process so much quicker. If it wasn't for this, I would still be so far behind in 2019 that I would have been stressed out big time. So I have gone through, and I'm missing a couple weeks, I know that, but doing this will also help. I'll talk about that in a minute. What I'm doing now is I've cut apart all the photos. They're all 3x4 size, so I'm keeping it simple that way. I'm just dividing them. I cut them all apart, and now I'm dividing. At first I divided them into piles by each month, and now I'm taking those monthly piles and dividing them by date. So they're all, you know, like from the 1st to the 30th in the pile, so they're not all mixed up. And what I'm going to do after I get these all separated into the piles, I'm going to put them into the page protectors. So I will talk about the page protectors in just a moment. I like this. Oh, here, it's coming to the page protectors. So one thing I've learned about let me try that one more time. Streamlining your process with pocket pages, whether they're daily or by event or anything, if you want it to be more simple, if you want to try the daily approach but want to know how to make it more simple, my big thing, I am going to use up. I used to think all different types of pocket pages were so cute and fun, but I got so tired. It makes it a lot more stressful. So my big hint is to stick with 1 or 2 different designs, at least per year. If you want to change those designs next year or maybe by the month, I don't know. For me, I am no longer going to change up my designs. In this 2019 album, the only pocket pages I'm using is, I think it's design F. I want to say that. I don't know for sure, but it's the one with just the 1 4x6 and the rest is 3x4 pockets. And then I started with that, and I came across, when I was rearranging some things in my room, these all 3x4 pockets, which I think are by We Are Memory Keepers. So I'm going to use these up because I don't have a lot of them, and they work perfect to go with this daily life album. So what I'm doing here is, now that I have all the pages separated, I'm going to go ahead and put them in the page protectors. This is not finished. This is just getting them off my desk and ready to be scrapbooked, I guess you could say. Excuse me. When I do my daily life albums, I do them by, well, kind of by weeks, but basically I go from Sunday to Saturday. And when I say by weeks, my daily life albums can span from 1 week to 3 weeks to 4 weeks to a month and a half if it needed to. I let my pictures decide. If I go a week without taking pictures, I don't care. So I don't have to still have Saturday through Sunday that week and no pictures in between. I'll do 2 weeks in that double page spread instead of just one. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you have questions below about what I mean. So it could be like September 1st through the 7th on this layout, or it could be September 1st through the 21st, or September 1st through October 9th. You know, it doesn't matter. It's just based on how many pictures I have. And that is what I'm doing here is I pulled up my phone. You can see my phone is in front of me and it has the calendar. I use my phone a lot for my daily life albums. There's so many things that it really can help with, minus the apps. So I have the calendar on there and I'm just putting these in here. This is not necessarily exactly where they're going to stay. I'm just kind of spreading them out so that I have room for journaling cards and room for date cards when I go to actually finish this up. So I'm, again, just kind of tossing them in the pockets so that they're done. And also I needed to know the dates where I had ended. So there's like between June and August, there's a few weeks I'm missing. And then between after November 10th, I don't have any, so I need to get those printed and do the same. But for now, I was ready to get this done, get these started. The other thing that I like to add in my daily life albums is little things like quotes, funny things my kids or somebody in the family says. Sometimes it's even like 3x4, like a screenshot I'll take of something really funny I see on Pinterest, or, you know, funny things. You might see a picture of something funny, you know, scrapbooking related. I will sometimes print those up and add those into my album. So right now what I'm doing is I'm adding the dates so I know when I go to make the date cards, I don't have to pull my phone back up. I figured since I already had my phone out, I would go ahead and just add these in. This is my day one app, and this is where I keep the quotes. And you can tell where the little blue boxes are is where I have a quote from that day. And at first I was going to write down the quotes, but then I thought, nah, that's a little bit too much right now. And not only that, but I wanted to make sure they were appropriate for this video. I just don't want to offend anybody, you know. So I'm just also I'm making sure that there will be a 3x4 card spot where I'm going to put a quote. So that is what I'm doing right here. And all that, the page that's before this, you can see has already been scrapbooked. So it's all good at this point. Now, this is my 2018 before I learned all that streamlining. So you can see there's all kinds of weird pocket pages, and this part of the video is going to go pretty quick, but I had all these pictures printed up as well, I think until December-ish, and I started to put them in. I figured I'd put the date. These ones are harder because they don't already have the date on them. So I had to sit there and figure out the date of each one. And then I'm like, okay, some of these aren't cut apart, so I'm going to cut these apart. So this is a little bit more of a tedious project to have to catch up on. But luckily, like I think I mentioned in my daily goals album, that I was all the way up to September, which made me so happy. You don't even know. I was like, oh, I was kind of dreading it because I didn't know that. But so I started to add the dates, and I started to put them in the pocket pages where I thought maybe I would want them. And then I just decided, you know, I don't want to do that. I am going to go ahead and start. These pictures are all from the same kind of couple days. They're going to go next to each other. So for now, there's like 7 of them. I'm just going to shove them all in that page pocket right there because I didn't want to deal with cutting them down. This was just kind of a get them in the pocket pages until I can get them scrapped type of moment. And so here I'm going to add the date. I thought, okay, I'll put them all into the page protectors, and then I'll add the date for each one. And I don't know if you saw at the beginning of this 2018, what I currently have the photos in is just some regular mailing envelopes, and I wrote out the weekdays on there. So this was like September something through something. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. My chair just popped up on me. So sorry. I hope that wasn't loud. This was a couple extra photos. See, I'm a little bit off on this one because the process just was a lot different. So I am looking right now, and I'm going to add the dates, but this is going to come to an end because I'm going to realize this is more work for just putting them in the pockets than it would be just to go ahead and do this as I scrap them, you know, as I decorate them. And so I'm going to change that here in just a moment. I am going to finish adding all the dates. I'm looking again at my phone because I don't know the dates, and I forgot that I actually had a little piece of paper with the dates and everything written down. But at this point, yep, that's what I'm doing. So I believe this video is coming to, here's why I turn the page and I'm like, okay, you gotta be kidding me. No, this is just not gonna work. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that off, and I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this process. Next video will be me starting actually like scrapbooking these and finishing these off so that they will be done. So here's where I contemplated starting the next one, but it's not going to happen. So I'll talk to you next time. See you later. Thanks for watching.